During the boom and bust economy following the Civil War, America was reinventing itself as a great new industrial power. The explosive growth of manufacturing was reshaping the nation, creating mills and factories where farmlands had once been. As cities grew skyward, an unprecedented 10 million immigrants came to the U.S. between 1860 and 1890 in search of opportunity. During this period, the number of factory laborers nearly tripled. These changes gave rise to a new working class.
In the 1880s and the 1890s, the future was open in this country. Working men were attempting to enter into partnership with the business classes and beginning to carve out what they thought was their rightful place in the new world, in a new America.
At the same time, a privileged few were making their fortunes in oil, in railroads, in manufacturing. The gap between rich and poor Americans had never been greater. A conflict was brewing between labor and America's new industrialists to define the jobs these men and women took on, the hours they worked, and what they were paid. It was a battle for control.
The struggle is over sort of the fundamental definition of what America is about, what America is going to look like as it evolves from a largely agrarian rural society into an industrial urban one. The struggle is over who will determine who controls that society. The workers, their attitude is industrial development should not be done at the expense of the people who do the labor.
For many workers, the collective bargaining power of a union was the only voice they had. Despite the rapid growth of industry, Americans endured periods of economic instability during the 1870s and 80s. Growing tension between labor and management often led to violence. In 1877, the Great Railroad Strike paralyzed the nation. Nearly a decade later, the infamous Haymarket riot rattled Chicago. Coal and metal miners struck, telegraph operators and streetcar conductors, factory workers. And soon, the nation would face a labor dispute that would tear at the very heart of America's new economy. Steel.